What's going on, everybody? It's your boy ColeMize with ColeMizeStudios.com, bringing you another segment of Be a Better Rapper Now. And today I'm going to be teaching you about something that I like to refer to as the 5 pillars of rapping. You see, when someone hears someone else rapping, they typically perceive it as one thing. But in all actuality, there's 5 things that are working at one time. And I like to refer to these 5 things as the 5 pillars of rapping. Each pillar requires a different set of skills to master them, and there's an order in which you must learn them because one pillar is needed to support the next pillar. It's very much like building a house, because a house is only as solid as the foundation that it's built upon. I'd like to first demonstrate each of these 5 pillars in order to show you the building blocks that make rapping actually work. And then we can expound on each of these pillars just a little bit more briefly as we wrap up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I win the cast and the braids when the blast when the braid of fee. Had a fade of flow, a native when the rate of fee. And pattern when the caster when the braided to my rate of fee. I'm out of when the cat I want to rate it to my rate of lead. I win the pastor from the rate of flow and lava low is make believe. I can teach you how to rap, though many people think it's make believe. You how to rap, though many people think it's make-believe. They think you gotta be born with it like baby teeth. Ironically, they couldn't form a sentence or convey the speech without the teacher teaching them how to say all the ABCs. I can teach you how to rap, though many people think it's make-believe. They think you gotta be born with it like baby teeth. Ironically, they couldn't form a sentence or convey the speech without the teacher teaching them how to say all the ABCs. Okay, pillar number 1 is rhythm. And I like to think of rhythm as the magnet, okay? So rhythm is the foundation that anything musical is built upon, not just rapping, but rapping is certainly no exception. This is where you should start. Rhythm is the ability to understand just basic music theory and just basic ear training so that you can hear the beats within every bar and understand things like what are bars and what is tempo and an introduction to music notes and just basic music theory so that when you hear music or when you hear a song, it's not just some random wall of sound. It allows you to start wrapping your ears, I was about to say mind, but technically ears and mind around what you're listening to so that you can now lock onto it like a magnet. Rhythm is the first pillar because without it, everything else will crumble. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pillar number 2 is cadences and scatting, okay? This is the musician. A lot of people don't realize that rappers are musicians. It's just not obvious because our musical instrument is our mouth. We're not carrying around a saxophone or a guitar or a drum set. Our instrument is our mouths, okay? And cadences, you can think of cadences as like dance moves. Cadences are basically where we take lots of different combinations of musical notes and we create these cool dance moves or rhythms, out of it. And at this stage, we're also learning about scatting. So scatting is taking different musical patterns that we've learned called cadences, and we're learning to improvise them. We're learning to change them, manipulate them, make them longer, make them shorter, make them feel more aggressive, make them feel more chill, changing where we begin each bar and adding pauses or removing pauses. And this is where you really learn how to perfect your rap flow because, like Bruce Lee said, be shapeless, be formless like water. A water can be violent or it can be calm, okay? Water can become anything that you put water into, right? So this is how I like to think of rap flow. And scatting is all about developing your rap flow and being able to rap over any type of instrumental without thinking about it. And the key to that is learning the cadences, learning lots of different musical patterns. And then from learning those musical patterns, you learn how to implement those and tweak them and change them and manipulate them and just kind of mold them like clay, if you will. Again, this is pillar number 2, and this is the musician. I win the cash blast on the braids when the blast when the braid of fee. Had a fade of flow, a native when the rate of fee. And pat when the caster when the rated to my rate of fee. I'm out of one the cat, I want to rate it to my rate of lead. Pillar number 3 is translating cadences into lyrics. This is what I like to refer to as the engineer, okay? Because the engineer is the problem solver. Once you become a solid musician through pillar number 1 and 2, now you must learn how to make these musical patterns that you've come up with through learning cadences and scatting. Now you need to learn how to transfer those into meaningful lyrics. And in a perfect world, these would just magically work. But guess what? It doesn't work that way. In most cases, you have to figure out a way, like a puzzle, like you're solving a puzzle. You have to figure out a way to make these cadences and that you come up with through scatting fit actual real words to fit something that you're trying to say. So at this stage, you're learning how to improvise your cadences through scatting, right? So if you've already been getting good at scatting, you've been already learning to improvise these cadences by changing them and manipulating them. Here, you're also learning how to manipulate words and how you say things and how you can, like multiple ways that you can say things in order to create more syllables if you need more syllables, or less syllables if you need less syllables. And at this stage, it's really it's all about learning how to create a nice balance between both your lyrics and your cadences to make them both work together. This right here is the engineer. This is the problem solver. And again, you're gonna need these skills of scatting and improvising cadences from pillar number 2 in order for this pillar to actually work. I went past it from the rate of flow and lava low is make believe. I can teach you how to rap, though many people think it's make believe. Pillar number 4 is songwriting. This is the author, the storyteller, the movie director, the poet. This is the pillar that most new rappers will begin on, because this is the pillar that makes most sense to most people, because we understand words, we understand language, we understand poetry. And so most rappers will start with writing lyrics, and then only to quickly realize that their lyrics do not sound good over the music. Why? Because they're missing pillars 1, 2, and 3. And again, this is because rappers are not one thing. Rapping is not one thing. And so there's the musical part of rapping, and then there's the lyrical part of rapping, okay? But the lyrical part will never sound good without the musical part. It's the musical part of rapping that's driving the lyrics and making them sound so good over music. I like to think of this pillar as the author. This is where you learn and develop your skills of expressing yourself and being able to take an idea or a concept and flesh it out and really paint a vivid picture in the minds of the listener. Almost like when they're listening to you rapping, it's almost like they're listening to a movie playing out in their head. At this stage, you're learning how to use literary devices such as rhyming and metaphors and punchlines and double entendres and irony and all types of different devices in order to convey yourself as effectively as possible and really stick to the mind of the listener, really be able to string them along and captivate them through actually what you're saying. I can teach you how to rap, though many people think it's make-believe. They think you gotta be born with it like baby teeth. Ironically, they couldn't form a sentence or convey the speech without the teacher teaching them how to say all the ABCs. And pillar number 5 is delivery. I like to think of this pillar as being the actor or the actress. Now that everything has been just masterfully crafted, the lyrics and is matching your flow, your scatting, and everything just sounds musically well put together, and the words that you're using and the way that you're expressing yourself is captivating the listener. This is that final stage that takes it to a whole nother level. This is where you're putting emotion and energy into what you're saying. It's not just about musically sounding good. That's a big part of it. But it's also about making people feel what you're saying. You can have the musical and the lyrical aspect of your rapping really strong, but if your delivery's not on point, it will never have the maximum impact on the listener. This pillar is all about acting. Even though you may have spent hours upon hours working on what you've written, it must feel like it's happening live and in the moment for the first time. It shouldn't feel or sound like you're just reading off a sheet of paper, okay? This is where you really bring what you're saying to life. This is where you make them feel what you're saying. And just ask yourself this: if you don't feel what you're saying, then why should anyone else?
You how to rap, though many people think it's make-believe. They think you gotta be born with it like baby teeth. Ironically, they couldn't form a sentence or convey the speech without the teacher teaching them how to say all the ABCs.
Now that you have a good fundamental understanding of how all these pillars work and the importance of the order of each of these pillars, let's run it back and listen to it one more time being demonstrated live. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I win the cast and the braids when the blast when the braid of fee. Had a fade of flow, a native when the rate of fee. And pattern when the caster when the rated to my rate of fee. I'm out of when the cat I want to rate it to my rate of lead. I win the pastor from the rate of flow and lava low is make believe. I can teach you how to rap, though many people think it's make believe. You how to rap, though many people think it's make-believe. They think you gotta be born with it like baby teeth. Ironically, they couldn't form a sentence or convey the speech without the teacher teaching them how to say all the ABCs. I can teach you how to rap, though many people think it's make-believe. They think you gotta be born with it like baby teeth. Ironically, they couldn't form a sentence or convey the speech without the teacher teaching them how to say all the ABCs.
So if you're new to rapping, hopefully by watching this video, you understand why it's important on the order in which you're practicing your rap skills. Start with rhythm, then focus on your cadences and your scatting. Those are the two main things you should first focus on. Again, there's nothing wrong with the writing. There's nothing wrong with exercising that skill as well, but do not neglect the rhythm and the cadences. The first two pillars, focus on those first when you start rapping. And if you're new to rapping, I've actually created a free course that you can watch right here on YouTube. Won't cost you nothing but time, okay? It's free 99, okay? It's called 5 Minutes to a Better Rap Flow, and it has practice drills that I've created for you to where you can use it right now and start strengthening those first two pillars of your rapping, and it'll get you off to a really solid start, okay? And if you're new to my channel, I also have a gift that I would like to hook you up with. This is my ebook called The Number One Fundamental to Rapping, and it goes over rapping and the different details to each layer, like a little bit deeper than some of the stuff we talked about today. And it's also going to share with you what I believe to be the number one fundamental to rapping. This is something I wish I would have had many years ago when I first started, and it's an easy read. It's something you can read in just a few, 20-30 minutes. You can read it, and it's going to really help get your bearings going with this whole how to rap thing and give you a different perspective as far as how you look at rapping. Again, my name is ColeMize with ColeMizeStudios.com, and always remember, when it comes to rapping, there's no rules, there's only techniques. Peace.
Hey man, you see that subscribe button right there? Kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it. Oh, and don't forget the bell icon. Kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it. Hey, I know you see that like button, right? Kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it. And look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, today I'm gonna kill it.